Welcome to the hit show Beyond Proof Radio with Angie, redefining death and loss on TransformationTalkRadio.com. Are you struggling with loss? Are you willing to challenge everything you've been taught about life and death? Beyond Proof Radio is a space that explores beyond current self-limiting beliefs surrounding loss, offering radical healing which will come from the least likely of places. Join Angie on her journey, which includes science, medicine, and spirituality, proving that the body is merely a shell of our soul. It's possible to create an amazing life from the depths of pain. It's your life. It's your choice. Now, here's your host.
Welcome, my beautiful listeners, to another episode of Beyond Proof Radio with me, your host, Angie Corbett-Kuiper. You guys, I had such a great time putting this together for you. And those of you who asked, Angie, I want to know what I can do to start communicating with my loved ones. And I thought, what a great show. And so take notes if you can. In my audiences, I've been asked to share the tools and resources, which I'll begin to add to my website. And of course, don't take notes if you're driving. And then another recommendation is anything that I say, do not judge. Don't judge the labels. When I say heaven or divine spirit or energy or light, it is the love of which I speak. It is not the label. And so today you want to start connecting with your loved one. And it's very interesting that we miss the messages when we judge the messenger. And today I want you all to just listen, open your hearts and open your minds, because I believe if you're really here, it's because you want to connect with your loved ones, to communicate with them, to find out if they're okay on the other side. And those of you who have not heard my story, I had my 20-year-old son, Nicholas, took his life on March 31st of 2015 by suicide, gunshot. And then my second husband, Jan, took his life 1 year later by hanging himself. And it was 1 week after our wedding. And so I'm not coming from a place of make-believe or coming from a place of, I want to say, wishful thinking. I am coming from a place of deep grief and moving my way beyond that grief. And it has been an amazing journey. So the first thing, if you want to connect with your loved one on the other side and you're not sure how, one word, you guys, belief. Do you believe that you are able to connect with them? That's the very first thing. And if you're looking outside yourself for affirmation from the people that you hang around with, and those that have been in these tight circles that didn't revolve around death, suicide, drug overdose, murder, car accident, drunk driving, it took me to leave that circle of familiarity and conformity to have this amazing journey that I'm on right now. So belief. Now, do you believe that you are a spiritual being having a human experience? And belief is a tough one, because up until now, we've only believed what we've been taught, and we've only believed what we have seen. And so in life, we see it, and then we believe it. But I'm here to share with you all, in death, as we're experiencing death, it is so important to believe that you will see it or are going to see it, and then you will. So it is a polar opposite, and it's a mind shift. And one example I'm going to give, and I'm going to give a shout out to Ava Fanari. Thank you, Ava. She teaches a course in miracles here in Albuquerque. And she had asked me if I wanted to come and talk to her group about loss, grief, death. And I had the audience close their eyes, and I asked them, raise your hand if you believe that you are a spiritual being having a human experience. Every single person's hand rose, men, women. As soon as they opened their eyes, and I knew this was going to happen, they all start looking around and the hands just start coming down. Oh no, what if? So we know that we are spiritual beings, meaning that we are only in this humanness and our egos and the worldly possessions and materials. So first, there has to be a belief that we are more than just this human experience. And it's very easy when we go into our car. That's a physicality. When we go into our house, because we can see it. And so in life, when something is cooking, let's say, something is cooking on the stove, we smell it, but that's affirmation that something's being cooked on the stove, right? Also, when we open a door, the touch, the doorknob is affirmation that it's real. When we see something, we believe it because we're looking at it. So after belief, you guys, we need to be so aware of the 5 senses: taste, touch, smell, hear. And I'm missing one. Taste, touch, smell, see, hear. There we are, the 5. It's cause and effect. So it's almost as if it's a cause, effect, and a belief. In death, it has to be a belief, an effect, and there is no cause because you can't see it. And so it is a polar opposite. And if you're wanting to connect with your loved one and are afraid of what people might think of you, then don't tell anyone. I remember I started sharing because I was so excited that these unexplainable things were happening. And especially one, and I'll share one with you right now. And that was listening to, he was with you when you were putting shoes in a box. Nobody knew except for me that I had just gotten through putting Jan's shoes in the box, and I'm looking at them. So it was significant for me, and it was trivial for me until I connected and made the association that it was not trivial. And so I think one of the misconceptions that we have about connecting with our loved ones is that we're waiting for these magnificent signs. And we just are waiting for a lightning bolt or something to prove that they're right here. And that doesn't happen that way. I've heard so many stories from you all. You're calling me, you're emailing me with these amazing stories of simple things like feathers, like pennies, like clothing, like a scent. And that is where I believe it is so imperative that we realize that when we hang around with a certain group of people and they've all believed one way for as long as we've ever known them, it's going to be difficult to go back into that circle and share something that is so totally not what we've all been taught or this group has been taught to believe in. But you're not going crazy. And if you are here, may I suggest some of the things that I share with you, just practice in the privacy of your own home and don't tell anyone. And so back to the 5 senses and the cause and effect. sort of like when we eat, we are physically eating. It's a physical thing. We can feel, we smell it in most cases. We're using our five senses, which are affirmations appearing after the experience. And in death, it's the experience that happens. And then it's almost as if we get that affirmation after. And you're not going crazy. In fact, I'll share an example with you before we go on break here. And that was the sense of smell. Isn't that funny? Not the scent of smell, the sense of smell. And I was in a restaurant with a very good friend of mine, and she owns the Four Paws Animal Hospital. And we go to dinner every few months. And this particular month, we were sitting at Papado's of all restaurants. And I smell smoke. And I'm looking all around there. And you guys, to the normal person, I'm looking like a crazy woman because they banned smoking in 1995. There would be no smoke. So when we come back from this break, I will share with you what transpired from me going crazy looking for smoke because my allergies were kicking up. And I'll share with you how that was just an amazing sign. Thank you for joining me. We'll be right back.
Learn and explore fascinating and practical uses of essential oils, how to use them, and how they can enhance your everyday life. The Oil Lounge was founded by three remarkable women with fascinating stories about how essential oils changed their lives. Tina and Laura from The Karmic Path have joined forces to educate the masses in the benefits of Young Living essential oils. For more information, visit theoillounge.com.
Are you ready to finally feel empowered and knowledgeable in your political stance? Let Marcia Padilla-Goad educate you on exactly how important grassroots advocacy is in a relatable way to all parties and all perspectives. Tune in to Grassroots Advocacy Radio with Marcia every first Tuesday of the month at 12 p.m. Pacific and 3 p.m. Eastern on TransformationTalkRadio.com. For more, visit DynamicsInPublicAffairs.com.
Choose the new earth on the Cornelia Stephanie Show. Tune in each week on Transformation Talk Radio as Cornelia takes listeners on an odyssey of higher consciousness to inspire, educate, and empower. Cornelia guides people on the path of self-healing, peace, and liberation. The Cornelia Stephanie Show is your catalyst for anchoring heaven on earth on a global scale. For more information, go to CorneliaStephanie.com.
People often ask, what does it mean to thrive? On Thrive by Jen Radio, it means body confidence, mind fulfillment, and soul synchronicity. Create synchronicity with God and learn as Jen shares action steps and real stories that will inspire you to be unstoppable in fulfilling your purpose. Tune in live each Monday at 8 a.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com and visit JenniferZellup.com to thrive with Jen.
We remember a time when you could simply form a thought and it would manifest. The harmony was forgotten, but it is returning now. The Power of Inspiration and Awakening Radio with Julia Griffin on TransformationTalkRadio.com each second and fourth Wednesday at 9 a.m. Pacific. We'll take you on adventures through the heart and spirit exploring who we once were. This intuitive healer studied under the guidance of wolves, learning from their wisdom to master a higher frequency for a new state of mind. Visit onetrueself.com.
A little bit barely, but no. Okay. Yeah. Welcome back, my beautiful listeners. prior to our break, I was talking to you about the restaurant experience. And I'm going to back up a little bit. It was at a medium, kind of learning how to connect with your loved ones. I was there with Tracy Small, Loretta Gallegos, with Linda Clark, and the four of us went. And of course, when you are looking for your loved one, you're thinking of only them, the most current person. So when this medium had asked me, did you lose a mother? No, my mother's still alive. Did you lose a mother figure? No. Are you sure? And then it clicked. My best friend, my confidant, was Mary Ann. And she had said, do you and Jan, this was prior to Jan dying, do you and Jan like to go to souvenir shops or gift shops? And I said, well, would roadside wine tasting rooms count? And she said, yes, absolutely. She's with you when you are there. And that would make total sense because that was a huge memory for my mother-in-law and I, you guys. So this night, going back to the Papados with Adina, thank you, Adina, for letting me share. I'm looking for a manager because I'm smelling smoke. I'm starting to sniffle. My allergies are kicking up, but there's no smoke. And the logical mind wasn't even functioning then. I was too busy looking for the smoke. And this was in February. I looked out thinking, well, maybe people are smoking on the patio. But it was cold. It was winter. No one was on the patio. And Adina looks over her martini and she looks up at me and she said, Angie, I don't smell any smoke. You guys, tie me up. Put the straitjacket on because I looked crazy. And then it clicked. Mary Ann. She knew that I would recognize her by scent because she smoked like a chimney. And in the triviality of cigarette smoke was the memory. And although how gross smoking is and dangerous, et cetera, she was addicted to cigarette, to nicotine. But for the 20-some years that I knew Mary Ann, she thanked me for being the only one. I would hide her and we would go with our little glass of wine so she could smoke her cigarette out in the freezing cold where nobody else could see her. And she said, you're the only one that doesn't judge me. And I wish I could kick this habit, but I can't. So I respected her and I honored her. I didn't like it. She didn't smoke near my children. I set that boundary straight up. But does that make sense, you guys? Here I'm looking like a crazy person because I'm logically trying to rationalize why I'm smelling smoke in an establishment that did not allow smoking since 1995. Okay, so moving on. Are you sure you're not sure you want to believe or not? Then there are a couple of resources, books that I absolutely love that I recommend for you. One is James Van Praag's Talking to Heaven. The other book is Lisa Williams' book, Survival of the Soul. Both, one was sitting on my shelf since 1997, so it sat there for 19 years. And what is the saying? The teacher will present when the student is ready. The reason I like these books is because James Van Praag talks from us, Earth people, human beings, being able to communicate with the other side. Lisa Williams, however, communicates from what it may be like on the other side to us. Hey, Kat, whatever that was, it's good now. And so if somebody, and this is where, when I heard somebody recommend Lisa Williams' book, I jumped on it. And I heard one woman who said, I have to hear something 30 times before I finally start paying attention and following the breadcrumbs. I've got it narrowed down to two. If there are people in your life Don't judge where they're coming from, their belief system, nothing, you guys. It can provide the most amazing, amazing healing. Follow it. Follow it. And what I like about Lisa Williams' book is in chapter 2, and I'm pulling it up right here, so if it gets a little noisy, I'm sorry. But on page 21, this is what I absolutely love, Skeptics and Cynics, and I love this. She says, don't let your beliefs or opinions stop you from exploring growth and healing opportunities. An open mind can reap incredible rewards. And then she also goes into, these are either skeptics or cynics, and they may be holding beliefs that make it difficult for them to accept what I do. And so what I'm asking you all to do is think of a medium. Instead of judging a medium, oh my God, my religious belief does not allow me to go there. The great mediums right now are teaching us how to communicate with our loved ones. And some will say, well, that's witchery, that's witchcraft. Don't label it. And what if you are denying yourself the greatest of comfort and joy? And so what I like to look at us as human beings is we've got the earth and we've got the universe. And we, in our little human bodies and our humanness and our skin suits and our ego, we're right in the middle of that. So we are technically the conduit. And it can go back and forth from the universe to the earth. We've got this direct connection that we do not need anyone to tell us. We are the mediums. In fact, let me see if I can find it. I have a great, oh shoot, yes, here it is. I've got this great poem I want to read to you guys. It's by Rumi, because one of the other things that I want to share with you all is dreaming. Don't be afraid to dream. It is when our loved ones and us, we can communicate without our left brain analytical judging it. In fact, Karen Newell called the monkey mind, the chattering that doesn't allow for healing and calm and answers that we may need, that may give us such a rewarding experience. So Rumi wrote a poem called Don't Go Back to Sleep. Some of you have said to me, Angie, I don't know why, but I keep waking up at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. Some would say that is the bewitching hour. And that is when our minds are so shut down that it can't sabotage the communication between us and the spirit world. So Rumi writes, for years, copying other people, I tried to know myself. From within, I couldn't decide what to do. Unable to see, I heard my name being called. Then I walked outside. The breeze at dawn has secrets to tell you. Don't go back to sleep. You must ask for what you really want. Don't go back to sleep. People are going back and forth across the door sill, where the two worlds touch. The door is round and open. Don't go back to sleep. And I believe that the door that he is talking about or talked about in this poem that is round and open is that tunnel that people who have had near-death experiences suggest happens. Not all of them, but the majority of research that I've done, most see this tunnel. I believe we all have that ability when we are sleeping. And so getting back to dreams and not going back to sleep, I believe a big one, write this one down as well. You must ask for what you really want. And so many people have said to me, or asked me, Angie, you have these amazing experiences. I want to have one. How do I have one? One word. Ask. Ask. Where are you? Are you okay? What are you doing now? Who are you hanging out with? Just ask. You knock on the door, and the door will be open to you. Most of us don't want to knock on that door because it is a risk. It's the unknown. And the more knowledge that I have accumulated through all of this and through this experience, yes, it has been the most painful, but it also has been the most rewarding as well. And so I challenge each of you, keep a dream journal next to you. Write that down. Dream journal. No matter what time it is, wake up in the middle of the night. And I'll put my dream journal picture up on Instagram or Facebook or something. Mine's so funny. It's a little colors, a chunky little fluorescent green cover. The back is missing. It's full of tear stains. It's full of coffee stains. It's full of water stains. But it's one of my most valued treasures. And I've kept this now since October 18th of 2015 was after Nick had died. And the last entry that I have in here was August 29th, 2019. And what this allows you to do, and most people, I remember my dream when I wake up. And when we come back, we'll go into why it's so important to sit up, no matter how tired you are, but write down everything. Anyway, when we come back, thank you for listening. I hope this is helping. I'm so excited and glad you've joined me. Thank you all, and we'll be right back.
Do you want the knowledge and wisdom to understand where spirituality, science, and psychology intersect? Then join the Karmic Path Radio Show with Tina and Laura on TransformationTalkRadio.com Thursdays at 4 p.m. Pacific. Follow this charmingly, disarmingly dynamic duo as they explore how psychic ability, spirituality, and karmic law tie together. For more information on Tina, Laura, and their groundbreaking work, visit thekarmicpath.com.
Do you know how to achieve wellness in all areas of your life? Hi, I'm Mary Jane Mack. Signs of wellness are a capacity to love and ability to nurture, a sense of purpose, a good sense of humor and plenty of fun in your life, a concern for others and a respect for the environment, a conscious commitment to personal excellence, a sense of balance and integrated lifestyle, and capacity to cope with whatever life presents. Well people enjoy their lives and want them to last as long as possible. That's why the wellness mindset usually accompanies other constructive, healthy lifestyle habits. By adopting a wellness mindset and behaviors like eating well, taking the right nutrition for the body, exercising, and saying affirmations are just a few things to structure a healthy system of values and beliefs. I will be your wellness coach to help you achieve a wellness lifestyle. Call us at 888-777-4232. That's 888-777-4232. And visit us at MaryJaneMack.com.
What is a brilliant culture, and how do we create them? Why are they important? Claudette Rowley has created a breakthrough 5-step process to help you align your culture with your business strategy for exceptional results. Looking for a culture that drives organizational excellence? Listen to Cultural Brilliance Radio, the second and fourth Friday of each month at 10 a.m. Pacific and 1 p.m. Eastern on Transformation Talk Radio. To learn more or work with Claudette, visit culturalbrilliance.com.
On the cutting edge of the new mainstream, Christine Upchurch is passionate about bringing together science, psychology, and spirituality in a way that can be applied to our everyday lives for true transformation. The Christine Upchurch Show, stellar conversations to illuminate your journey, engages some of the most outstanding visionaries on the planet in lively dialogue to inspire you to become that bright light you're meant to be. Join Christine every Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific Time on KKNW, AM 1150, and Transformation Talk Radio.
Do you know how powerful your thoughts and beliefs are in determining your experience of your life? Is it really true that simply by changing some of the words you use in your day-to-day language, that you can change your life? I'm Megan Edge. Join me on Playing on the Edge, Radical Change with Ease, with my co-host Dr. Pat on Transformation Talk Radio. I look forward to seeing you there.
To find out more about Megan Edge, visit her website at meganedge.ca.
Thank you very much, Kat, for counting me in there. Hi, everyone. Welcome back. Oops. Live radio. I love it. Love you, Kat. She's so good. She's my producer, and we just have such a great time. Going back to your dream journal, I hear it so often when people want to connect with their loved ones, but they aren't willing to keep a dream journal next to them because they quote unquote remember their dreams. And I will guarantee you beyond a shadow of a doubt, we miss the details. So yes, I can remember colors and who was there, but it's the intricate details that will become the messages that become so clear. And just like anything else, it's important it needs to be practiced. It needs to be learned. I didn't wake up one morning and just say to myself, I'm going to keep a dream journal and, hey guys, how are you? How can I communicate with you today? And so in a minute, we're going to go through the different languages that most of you who I've spoken with or who have emailed me have had one or two of these happen, the different languages. And what's amazing is when you can start having the languages, all of them come into play and not just one or two. So an example I want to give to you regarding writing it down and how imperative it is. Let me find it here. I'm sorry. This was one of those profound. So I wrote in my dream journal, okay, and I put the date. So just to let you all know, I think it's important to put the date, if you can, the time, but the date especially. So I'm listening to Jason Stevenson, Floating Amongst the Stars. And that is another one, if you guys are writing all this down, if my listeners are writing this down. Jason Stevenson is one of my favorite. I want to call him a sound engineer, but he has won awards. And two people recommended him to me, and he is my absolute favorite. In fact, I had him on my show. We were having difficulties with a new producer coming in and one that wasn't, leaving, and it ended up being funny. But he is amazing. If you all get an opportunity, he has so many freebies on YouTube. So a plug to Jason Stevenson. And you can put anything in there. He's won awards in Buddhist communities for his ability, and I want to call it hemisync. It's syncing both hemispheres of our brain to be able to have this balance. And I won't go into it now because I don't have time. But on December 2nd, Jason Stevenson, I was listening to Floating Amongst the Stars. And I had this dream, and I wake up, and Nicholas was showing me a wooden necklace on a leather chain or a bracelet. And it said IKEA, and I have a big question mark. And in your dream journals, draw, write, color, whatever, because it's significant. It becomes significant, and I'll tell you why. So it said IKEA, and I'm writing, was this furniture? Don't try to analyze the dream. Just experience it and not judge it. And it was interesting because my answer came like January 25th. I had forgotten about this. I don't read through my dream journal. I just keep it open to the next blank page. But January 25th, you guys, 6 weeks later, I see that symbol again, and I wake up and I knew that I had seen that symbol before. It was the same wooden oblong, or whatever you want to call it, like an oblong symbol that said IKEA. And all Nicholas said, I know everything already. IKEA. Oh my gosh. Now, skeptics would say, oh, you're just searching and you're just looking. And that may have been true, you guys, 4 years ago. Not anymore. And so please, the biggest thing that was the most helpful for me is keeping a dream journal and not judging, and so many things. In fact, something James Van Praagh shared with an audience. He had said, ask Nicholas's dad if he had a dream on a Tuesday night and he was in a park. And so I did. And Nicholas's dad had said, well, I don't remember having a dream like that or on a Tuesday night. Well, most would have dissed James Van Praagh because it wasn't 100% the way they thought it was supposed to go in their head. But what I found, and you guys, that was September of 2016. The very first page of my dream journal, because I told you I don't read it, was October 18th, 2015, where I had the dream in that they were in a park, in a Central Park scene. They were talking to one another. We could hear them. So it was the dream, and it was accurate, but it was me who had it. And it was almost a year later that dream was revealed to me. So anyway, the dream journal has been the most significant. And now we are going to go through the different languages. And these, you don't need to write these down, but you'll know what they are. If you want to write them down, go ahead. But you'll know what they are, not by their legal name, but what you are experiencing as you are connecting with your loved one. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, but I'm only going to discuss 5. And I'll just very quickly, clairvoyance. And that is a clear vision where it's objects, colors, symbols, people, spirits, scenes. I'll give you an example of a clairvoyance. I hear a lot of people who are just starting to call me and excited. Oh my God, you're never going to believe this, Angie. Pennies. There's a reason they're called pennies from heaven. And I'm going to give one example. And this was a woman at my retreat who shared this, and it was absolutely adorable. Our loved ones will present with objects. Sometimes you'll know they'll mess with a light bulb. I think Abraham, or through Abraham, Esther Hicks talked about this light that Jerry just kept blinking on, and she's like, I like that light on, Jerry, and she could never turn it off. Those are the kind of things that our rational minds start saying, you just don't know how to turn off a light. Really? Or there's something wrong with the electricity. So you all, when you see these objects in colors and symbols and people, spirits or scenes, as James Van Praagh writes in Talking to Heaven, don't question it. Just allow it and appreciate it. So Crystal said to me, I couldn't wait to share this with you, Angie, but my mother, who is having a difficult time with the death of her grandchild and with Crystal's daughter, Mackenzie, she said, she called her and said, you know my house. It is so organized. There is nothing anywhere not in place. And this particular day, she said there was just a penny on the living room floor for no reason. She picked it up. She looked at it. It was the birthday, 1966, the birthday year of their daughter, her daughter Mackenzie, her granddaughter Mackenzie. Crystal says, Angie, but it gets even better. She said, I was putting my husband's laundry away. So I set it on top of the dresser. I pulled open the dresser drawer and a penny fell down. She said, I picked it up the same day, 1966. Those are the definitions or things that happen when we are clairvoyant. Clairaudience is when we can hear sounds, names, voices. This to me is a little more difficult, and this has taken me a lot more time to get to this level, but it just happens. And I'm now communicating, and I hear Nick, or most of the time it's Nick, because Nick has such profound messages that I just know that he is on the other side helping me navigate sometimes this difficult earth. And he said, and there are no words. Somebody just asked me the other day, do they talk? And that's the cool thing, is that you don't need words. We need words here in our humanness, not when you're connecting on this soul level. It's unnecessary. In fact, words get in the way. And at first, I will tell you, if you think you are hearing your loved one and you won't, it's not their sound, it's what they're saying. And he had said, you have to forgive Jan. I said, I can't forgive Jan. It's only been a couple of weeks. I can't forgive Jan. And I'm having this conversation in my head. Mom, you have to forgive Jan because he can't move forward if you don't forgive him, and you can't heal until you forgive him. And so if you all feel like you hear them, trust it. I think that's another one. Write this down in big words. TRUST. You have to be able to trust yourself that what you are experiencing is real. And I'm here to tell you, I love the people calling me and the emails and the messages because I believe them. Anyway, we are coming up on break in a couple seconds here. So I will leave you with, we've learned clairvoyance, which is the vision, and we've learned clairaudience, which is the sound. And when we come back, we're going through what most people experience, and that is that feeling. I know they're here. I feel them. And so when we come back, thank you all for joining me.
Tune in to Lucid Planet Radio with Dr. Kelly Neff. This hit show will illuminate your senses and empower you beyond your daily stressors and hardships. Renowned psychologist and author Dr. Kelly will captivate you with far-reaching topics and amazing guests as you wake to the greatest version of yourself. Learn to tap into your intuitions, think critically about our world, heal emotional and psychological wounds, and follow your passions to live your dreams. The Lucid Planet. Welcome home. Visit lucidplanetradio.com for more information.
Are you feeling stuck in unhealthy habits, toxic relationships, or low self-esteem? Do you crave a healthy relationship filled with inspiration? You might just be on the verge of attracting your soulmate. Tune in each month to The Laura Richer Show, where dating coach Laura Richer and co-host matchmaker Peggy Bennett share tools for using your dating breakdown for a relationship breakthrough. For more information, visit richerhealinghypnosis.com.
I have struggled with anxiety my entire adult life. My mind was constantly filled with feelings of dread and negative thoughts about myself. But then I completed Dr. Friedman's breakthrough program and can't believe how much my life has changed in just a few months. Dr. Friedman's methods are different from anything I've ever tried, and they make so much sense, and more importantly, they work. I can never thank Dr. Friedman enough for his guidance and wisdom. Visit theempowermentsolution.com and find out how his breakthrough program can help you transform your life.
Has your buzz for life buzzed off? Feeling ignored, invisible, and wondering if this is really all there is? The years go by faster as we gain momentum. You're halfway there. Are you gathering speed or puttering out? Hit your stride for the liberating half of life. Comfortable in your skin? You can do better than that. Tune in to Discovering You Again Radio every fourth Wednesday at 11 a.m. Pacific as host Susan Axelrod encourages listeners to decide what they want, get inspired to action, and face challenges head-on. Host Susan Axelrod pulls no punches, encouraging you to grab the brass ring and soar. For more information about Susan, go to www.whatwillyourlegacybe.com.
Are you ready to create a life you'll really love? Then you'll want to tune in to the hit show Life Design Radio, From Adversity to Awesome with Susan DiLorenzo. Live each month on TransformationTalkRadio.com.
No matter where you are in your adversity story, Life Design Radio has got you covered. Get ready to feel inspired, enlightened, and motivated. For more information about working with Susan, visit susandlorenzo.com.
Welcome back, my beautiful listeners. Our final segment. I can't believe how quickly time has gone by. And we are going back to the languages. We talked about the clear vision. We talked about the clear sound. And now we're going to go into what's called clairsentience. And that is that clear feeling, like I feel them here. And it most of the time it's not scary. Like I think old ghost stories were, there was a cold wind came through and the doors were all locked and shut. That's not what it is. It is almost, it may be little goosebumps on you. It may be a rush of just this feeling of just complete love that you're just enveloped or enveloped in your loved one's arms. It could be warm. It's very interesting. Just be aware of that. And that goes back to paying attention to the five senses, because that's how our loved ones connect with us. And so the clear feeling, that is probably the number one. I feel that they're here, but it's difficult when we say feeling. I like to go a little bit further, and that is the vision. I like to see the symbols. I like to see a scene. One thing as well, numbers, write numbers down. And I remember when we first started going into this, my Nicholas's dad and I were divorced. So we hadn't seen each other for a while. And all of a sudden, Nick, or Nick's dad and brother and myself, we started seeing consistently a dime and a penny everywhere. And of course, my logical mind, when I would see a dime and a penny, it would be in the laundry. I would be in the dryer. So of course, somebody's, logically trying to rationalize. But then I also started seeing just the odd places, like just in my closet. Then Nick's dad came to me and said, I'm starting to see the number 11. And then Zach, Mom, I'm seeing 1111. So pay attention to those numbers. They do become significant. If you're seeing them over and over and over again, even if you are that skeptical that you have no earthly desire to even connect with your loved one, what it has done for me is when I see 811, you all know who follow me, 811 is significant. And I didn't realize that either until much later. August 8 and 11 was November. Both those birth months were Nicholas and my mother-in-law and closest friend. So 8/11, I was seeing it on clocks. So what that does for me now is when I am just in the kitchen, cooking or cleaning, or if I'm doing something like this, talking to you all, I'll see an 8/11. And to me, that just gives me time to pause and thank them for being present. So it is the association. If you are a skeptic, but would like to know if your loved one is okay, believe that they are, because they're trying to show you the only way they know how, that they're okay and they got your back. And if you don't want to tell anybody, what do I say? Don't tell them. In fact, Candace Thomas, who is a renowned medium and psychic, I love her quote, "Do not listen to those people who try and talk you out of your blessings." So numbers are important. Trust yourself. Truly start living as if you are a spiritual being and quit living like we are only human beings and this is all there is. So the next, this is one that I absolutely love, is inspirational thought, is what James Von Prague says on page 32. This is where I got the languages, because I love how he just made them so succinct and in paragraph form. But on page 32 of Talking to Heaven, a medium's message of life after death. Inspirational thought has also been the most amazing journey, and it is through writing. And this is what it looks like. Get up in the morning. The first thing you do, write 3 pages. 3 pages. And this comes from Julie Cameron's book, The Artist's Way. Get all that stuff out of your head. So here, I'm just going to do it right now. I'm sitting here and I'm journaling, and it's 6:30 in the morning. Hi, oh my gosh, the sun hasn't quite come up, and it's green, and the leaves are outside. Oh my gosh, there's a robin, and there's a hummingbird outside. Oh my gosh, I need to have my coffee. I'm really thirsty. And Nick, how are you today? I'm hoping you're doing well. And all of a sudden, you're just pouring out all this shit on a piece of paper. It is profound what can happen when we start writing and not allowing our brains to sabotage what we write. In fact, tomorrow is Zach's birthday, and I had written a letter. This was 3 years ago now, and I called it a birthday letter to a brother from beyond. And I have to share with you, this wasn't from me. This did not come from me. And I'll just read you one. I feel that I'm the luckiest kid to have an awesome brother like you. You mean the world to me, and I'm so happy you're my little brother. You're fun to hang out with, even though you can't see me. I let you know that I'm still right here, always and forever. Plus, you're still a chick magnet. Happy birthday. I love you, Zach. And I have to tell you, I folded this and put it in a card, and I gave it to Zach along with a card from me. And he came to me and asked, Mom, did Nick really write this? This did not come from me. He writes, or I write, I know you have a lot of questions without answers on earth. I sure did, but I promise that when you come to heaven, when it is your time, you will find the answers. Interestingly, even in heaven, there are questions. I've learned that eternity is really about continuing to ask questions and following the answers. I know you're worried about where I am now. No, I'm not in that hell like that dumb kid told you at Cool Springs Trampoline Park. Yes, I was there at the park with you, and I wanted to protect you. I just wanted to kick that kid's ass because he is dead wrong. Get it? Dead? LOL. Now, my editor, when she went through this, had said, Angie, are you sure you want to put that? Yes, because it wasn't me. This is something Nick would do, and I share this all the time. If your loved ones were funny in life, they will present funny in spirit. Pay attention. Just pay attention. And so there we have it, you guys. We have about 2 minutes before the end of this show. It went way too fast, and I'll be doing a lot more. But just to kind of recap, first, belief. Know that you want to. You guys, the reality is our loved ones are dead. They are gone. They aren't coming back into the physicality that we're used to. So it's up to us. Are we going to believe that they are still here, which to me has been so much more rewarding than believing they're not, or spending the next 50 years bawling my eyes out, wondering and waiting to see them in heaven. Oh, they're in a better place. Yet we're not even sure of that. What I know is right today, I know that they are here with me. And they are walking this journey because I believe we are all souls, spiritual beings helping each other home. So you are never alone. Pay attention to your 5 senses. The books by James Van Praagh, which was kind of Earth to Heaven, and Lisa Williams, Heaven to Earth, it kind of gave me a full spectrum of what life after death would look like, not only from my standpoint, but from their standpoint on the other side. The different languages, start paying attention, be aware. Keep a dream journal, and most of all, trust. Don't listen to those people who try and talk you out of your blessings. They are real. I believe them. Your loved ones are just waiting to connect with you on any level. And so with that, thank you for listening. I appreciate your time. I am honored that you chose to spend this hour with me, and I hope I've given you just a few tools, maybe not to use, but to at least plant some seeds. Thank you very much, and until next time, bye.
Thank you for listening to Beyond Proof Radio with Angie, redefining death and loss. Tune in every first and third Wednesday at 12 p.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com as Angie shares through choice, present moment awareness, and a willingness to keep an open mind about everything that anything is possible. Tune in every first and third Wednesday at 12 p.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com as Angie shares through choice, present moment awareness, and a willingness to keep an open mind about everything that anything is possible, even in death. For more information or to listen to past shows, visit BeyondProof.com. That's BeyondProof.com. See you next time.